Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Outside Her Room, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave us a positive comment in the comment section and pass it on to somebody else who might like it too. Now, don't forget, stay to the end of the video because I'm going to read out I think I have three today, comments that were my favorite comments of the day. And stick around to see if maybe one of your comments was one of my favorites. Okay, so I was asked a very interesting question. I was asked this question by one person a couple days ago, and I had a gentleman ask me this question about 6 months ago, and I had a woman ask me this question somewhere in between there. I can't remember when, but it was the same question. They asked me, how do you strike up a conversation with an Aquarius that you're trying to holler at? You're trying to, get in their face. You're trying to get, talk to them. You're trying to, get a love connection going. How do you talk to an Aquarius? People tell me that Aquarius look so standoffish and they look so unapproachable sometimes. Some of us are more friendly than others. So they tell me that they're kind of scared. They're kind of scared. Like, how do I approach the Aquarius? Like, what do I say? I don't want them to think I'm an idiot, or, I don't want to bother them. Like, how do I talk to and approach an Aquarius? Now, honestly speaking, this advice might work for anybody. This is what I do when I see somebody I like. And this should work for many Aquarius. It really just depends on their level of interest, really. The problem that most people have is figuring out if the Aquarius would be open to them trying to court them, trying to holler, trying to see them. So this is what I would do. And this is something I've done with every sun sign, and I think it would be very helpful here. The first thing I do is watch them. Like, if we're in proximity, this isn't going to work if it's just somebody on the bus or at the liquor store. But if this is somebody at work or somebody who hangs out at your gym or somebody who goes to the same grocery store, you might have opportunities for observation. So without being creepy or stalkerish, I kind of observe them. I don't say anything. I kind of just fall back for a long time. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a couple months. It could be even up to a year or so. It depends. I just kind of fall back and I kind of watch the person, because if you observe a person for long enough without them knowing that you're observing them, you will see little clues about what you can use to strike up a conversation. So you might notice that they like to wear jewelry, or you might notice that they're a Wiccan, or you might notice that they go to church every Sunday, or you might notice that they're a vegan, or you might notice something about them that you can strike up a conversation. And with Aquarius love to talk about the things that mean something to us. We love to talk about things that we're interested in. If somebody walked up to me and was like, "Oh, I really like your Harry Potter tattoo. What do you think of Voldemort's character?" I'm gonna be like, okay, and that's gonna get me into the conversation because it's something I'm interested in. So the first thing I would do is try to observe the person, especially in Aquarius, to see what they're interested in, what topics are they interested in, and that's what I would go with. A lot of times, if you want to just test the waters to see if the Aquarius is even open to talking to you, that's the easiest way to do it. Sometimes the Aquarius won't respond to, "Hey, the weather's nice today," or "Did you see those Mets?" Sometimes the Aquarius will kind of grunt and moan at that. But if somebody said to me, "Oh my God, I really like your crystal. Is that a rhodonite? I have one of those." That's going to pique my interest in that person. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you got rhodonite?" And that's gonna start up a conversation. So in the case of an Aquarius who's open to talking, if you mention one of our likes or something that we have going on or something that you can connect with, "Oh, your nails are done. I love getting my nails done. Can I see your designs?" That kind of thing is something that will open the door to a conversation with an Aquarius and maybe anybody else. It just depends. I know as an Aquarius, and mind you, we're not all going to be exactly the same, of course, but I know as an Aquarius, that's something that will at least pique my interest. I'm more likely to talk to someone who says something I'm interested in than somebody who says, how about those Mets? What do you think about this weather? I can't believe I can't believe this rain, I'm less likely to want to get into the conversation. It's very basic to me. Or if they come up to me and say something that's very basic, like if they come up to me and say something, and not to say that it has to be rocket science or something like that. It can be something very simple, but it needs to be something simple that I'm interested in. If they come up to me, for instance, with celebrity gossip, I'm probably not going to engage in the conversation because I'm not interested in celebrity gossip unless you happen to hit on a celebrity that I am interested in. Now, that's something you might have peeped. You might have heard me talking about Oprah, or you might have heard me talking about, Iyanla Vanzant, or you might have heard me talking about somebody else and be like, back in the 90s, I went to an Oprah show. Oh, did you? That's something that's going to interest me, so I'm more likely to listen. Also, with an Aquarius, you got like 2.2 seconds to get our attention, to really get it. You know what I'm saying? You can't go on and on and on and on and on and on. Your first sentence needs to hit home. Oh, I really like your locks. How long have you been growing them? I've been thinking about growing some myself. You gotta hit it. It gotta interest me immediately. Oh, you know something? I heard you were into astrology. I'm a Libra. Huh? You are? It hits me. You have a little bit of time, so don't try to think of like a paragraph to say. You need to say something in 1 or 2 sentences at the most that's going to grab the Aquarius, that is one of their interests, and is going to make them interested in talking to you. That's my advice. Now, like I said before, I can't tell you that every Aquarius is going to open up to that, but those are 2 things that I've noticed personally, and it's 2 things that I've heard other Aquarius complain about. I've heard other Aquarius complain about, somebody coming up to them with a surface conversation, or coming up to them with something that totally was uninterested to them, or this is another one, make sure you know what you're talking about. Don't come up to the Aquarius and say some fake news. Don't come up especially about something that they're passionate about. Don't do that. If you don't know anything about it, come forward with a question. Oh, I like your crystal. What is it called? What's it for? That's really nice. Come with a question. A lot of Aquarius don't mind answering questions, especially if you're attractive to them. So if you don't know anything about the topic and you see a topic that interests you, ask the Aquarius a question. Be like, oh, would you mind answering a question for me? What does your tattoo mean? I really love that symbolism. And let them tell you. And if they open to talking about it and giving you an explanation, that means that Aquarius more than likely will be open to having a conversation with you. And now that you have their ear, make it good. You got the ear in those first 2 sentences. Now make it good. Continue to talk about things that are interesting to them. And another thing, and this is another thing that's very helpful, Aquarius have a tendency to be very humorous. If you can make us laugh, or we can make each other laugh, especially if we can engage in humor and, it's not offensive or it's not dark, or if it is dark, you're in the dark humor too, that kind of thing. If you can engage the Aquarius with some humor, you also have a better chance at them having a conversation with you. Now, if you're going to have a conversation with an Aquarius, especially one that is intelligent, make sure that you're coming with some substance. You're not going to hold on to an Aquarius's attention talking about, like I said, celebrity gossip, the weather, sports. You're going to have to talk about some things of substance. So in some cases, you may find yourself learning about things to talk to the Aquarius about. The Aquarius will love that. If you take your time and learn about things the Aquarius is interested in, and then y'all discuss them and, really vibe like that, the Aquarius will really like that. In a lot of cases, they will see that as being proof that you're really down. you know? So that's another thing, you know, learn something about it. Once you have their ear, learn something about the things that you're talking about so you can then intelligently add to the conversation, you know? And Aquarius aren't all into, you know, these elaborate, eccentric kind of things. Some of us are. Some of us are into like technology. Some of us are into science. Some of us are into like crime shows and investigation. Some of us are into the arts. You know, we have a number of different, very kind of things that we're interested in. But if you can observe the Aquarius and then ask about the things they're interested in or discuss the things they're interested in, that's your best bet in the door. That's your best bet in the door. Once you get your foot in the door, you better be damn interesting. You better be damn interesting. And I'm not talking about like putting on airs or, you know, being of the status quo, because that's not going to impress an Aquarius. What's going to impress them is you knowing about what you're talking about. That's why I said no fake news. All right, guys. Now I'm going to read to you the comments that were my favorites today. Number one. This one came from John Byron Bain. And John said, I love to hear you laugh. Laugh out loud. I noticed it in your videos. John, I got jokes. I have jokes for days. I am very, very humorous. It doesn't come across as much in Asking Aquarius because I'm talking about serious topics, but every once in a while you'll see me giggle about something or laugh about something. And if you were around me, you would see I'm always talking shit. Always laughing, always joking. I try to keep the energy high and, you know, just going good, you know? So thank you so much. I appreciate that. The next one came from Sonia. I think it's Sonia Dubois Romero, if I'm not mistaken. And Sonia said, love all your videos. I'm also an Aquarius. How can I find what time I was born? A lot of people have this problem. A lot of people have a hard time, Sonia, finding out what time they were born. When we're born, we get two things in the United States. We get a birth notice, and you get that at the hospital. So when the baby is born, they put down the time, the amount of ounces, how much the baby weighs, how long the baby is. That's the one that has your birth time on it. The first one your parents get. The birth certificate is the second one they get that registers you as a person in the United States. But that one doesn't have the time, just the date. So the only way to get the time of birth is to get that original birth announcement, they call it, in a lot of hospitals. And you can check with the hospital you were born in if your mother doesn't have it anymore. And the other thing is to ask your mom and dad. Because I don't know about you, but I will never forget 5:30 p.m. November 10th, 1995. That was the exact moment my daughter came into this world. Well, I didn't have her. They cut her out. That was the moment when they cut her and pulled her out. And he said, it's 5:30. And I looked up. And I'll never forget it. So your mom might remember. You know, a lot of moms do. So that's the only other way. And like I said, if you can't get it from your birth announcement or from your mom, you can call the hospital you were born in. Sometimes they will have the records. And that's the only way that I know of. If there's any other ways, please let us know in the comment section. And this one came from Kibi Gurley. Kibi publicly subscribed to me 11 months ago. Thank you so much. And you're still here, so that's good. Okay. Keely said, hey Queen, I'm an Aquarius, and I want you to know that you hold a special place in my heart. You make a difference. Thank you. Kibi, you know, that's why I'm here. That is exactly why I'm here. I'm trying to help anybody, even if it's one person that I possibly can. So to hear you say that touches me in my heart, because that's my purpose for being here. It's truly. And even if it's just me and you, even if you're the only person, I'm still gonna be here. So a lot of people tell me that they get a lot of things from my videos, and that's what I want. I want people to get something from this madness that has been my life. So thank you all so much. And come back soon. I have a lot more to say. And if you would like to get a reading done, please email me because I will hook you up. All right, guys. See you later.